How to Master Office Diplomacy Like a Foreign Ambassador. Brought to you by Lux von Zollern, the maker of exclusive garments for successful women, available at the website www.lvzprestige.com. Think Lux von Zollern when you wish to amplify your executive impact in high-stakes business environments. Let's get one thing straight. Office politics is a game. Some people are naturally good at it, and others, well, they're just kind of stuck. But no matter where you fall on that spectrum, let's face it, you can't avoid it. Office politics are everywhere, from the water cooler gossip to the passive-aggressive emails sent at 5:01 p.m. when people hope you're not checking your inbox. But what if you could navigate the political maze like a pro, without getting dirty or losing your dignity? What if you could step into the role of a foreign ambassador in your own office? Calm, collected, and always 3 steps ahead of everyone else. Sounds pretty dreamy, right? Well, it's possible, and I'm going to teach you how. Know the power dynamics and play them like a savvy diplomat. To navigate office politics like a seasoned ambassador, the first thing you need to do is understand the lay of the land. In every office, there are power players, hidden influencers, and yes, the occasional rogue agent who thinks they run the show, even though they don't. Knowing who holds power, who has the ear of the boss, and who is just biding their time can give you the upper hand. Start by observing. Watch interactions in meetings. Who speaks the most? Who holds back but always has the best ideas? Who gets the last word? Understanding these dynamics will allow you to know when to speak up, when to stay quiet, and when to strategically ally with certain people to get your agenda moving forward. Once you understand the power structure, you can work it to your advantage. Just like an ambassador doesn't pick fights with foreign leaders, you shouldn't be picking unnecessary battles in your office. But you do need to know when to align yourself with the right people, when to quietly distance yourself, and when to make a subtle move that shifts the dynamic in your favor. Learn the art of subtle influence. Now, here's the real magic of office diplomacy: subtle influence. Think of yourself as the diplomat who has the ability to shift the conversation without anyone even realizing what happened. You don't need to be the loudest voice in the room. In fact, being too loud can backfire. Instead, focus on getting others to rally around your ideas without them even realizing they're rallying. So, how do you do that? First, listen more than you talk. When you take the time to truly listen to what others are saying, and not just waiting for your turn to speak, you'll gather valuable intel. People love talking about themselves and their ideas, and if you're paying attention, you can gently nudge conversations in your direction. For example, let's say your boss is discussing a new project, and they seem unsure about a few aspects. Instead of jumping in with all your solutions, casually drop a, "What if we tried this?" Or, "I was thinking that if we changed X, it could help Y." By framing your ideas as casual suggestions, you'll give others the feeling that they came up with the idea or that it was a team effort. This is diplomacy in action, getting things done without stepping on any toes. Use your emotional intelligence to defuse tension. In a competitive, cutthroat environment, emotions can run high. Whether it's an irate coworker, a passive-aggressive email from a colleague, or a tense meeting, being able to manage your emotions and read others is crucial. This is where emotional intelligence comes in. Think of it as the social radar you need to keep your cool and navigate tricky situations with the grace of a diplomatic envoy. When emotions start to flare up, take a step back. Don't react immediately. This is your moment to shine. The best diplomats know that their first reaction isn't always their best one. When your colleague starts ranting about a decision they disagree with, instead of firing back, try to listen to what's really going on. Is it just frustration? Are they feeling left out or unheard? Once you've pinpointed their emotional state, respond in a way that acknowledges their feelings without escalating the situation. For example, you might say, "I totally see where you're coming from, and I understand why that would be frustrating. Let's figure out a solution together." By acknowledging their emotions and shifting the focus to problem solving, you'll defuse the tension and make them feel heard and respected. It's diplomacy at its finest, and you'll be seen as the calm in the storm. Don't be afraid to share credit while secretly leading the charge. A great diplomat doesn't need to take credit for everything. In fact, The best diplomats are the ones who make everyone feel like they're part of the solution. So, when you find success, share the spotlight. But here's the trick. Share the credit in a way that keeps your contributions front and center. Instead of saying, I did X, Y, and Z to make this happen, try, I'm so glad the team and I were able to pull this together. It was a real team effort, and I'm excited to see how our work is driving results. See the difference? You're giving credit to others, but you're still subtly framing the conversation around your leadership and vision. This creates a reputation for you as a leader, someone who builds alliances and makes things happen through collaboration, without ever coming across as self-absorbed. Your coworkers will respect you for it, and you'll build a network of allies who trust you and want to work with you on future projects. Always keep your cool, even when you want to lose it. Here's a little tip from the diplomatic playbook. Never lose your cool. And I mean never. It doesn't matter how ridiculous the situation is or how frustrating that one coworker is acting. In a high-stakes environment, your ability to stay composed, even in the most stressful moments, will earn you respect and make you seem like the calm, collected leader everyone can rely on. When things get heated, remind yourself that you're in control. Take a deep breath, assess the situation, and decide how you want to respond. Don't give in to the pressure to lash out or engage in petty office drama. Instead, take a step back, evaluate the bigger picture, and then act with grace and dignity. Being able to keep your cool in tense situations is the ultimate diplomatic move. It shows others that you're not easily rattled, that you think before you act, and that you can be trusted to make level-headed decisions. And believe me, that's the kind of reputation you want in a high-stakes work environment. The art of saying no politely and still getting what you want. Here's the thing. As a diplomatic queen, you can't say yes to everything. But how do you turn down requests without making someone feel like they've just been slapped with a cold, hard no? It's all about how you say it. Mastering the diplomatic no is a fine art. Let's say a colleague asks you to take on an extra project, one you really don't have time for. Instead of immediately saying no and looking like a total roadblock, frame it this way. I'd love to help, but right now, I need to focus on XYZ project. If you're able to get me the resources I need, I could revisit this in a few weeks. Does that work? Boom. You've communicated that you're not available right now, but you're still open to helping, just on your terms. You've also made sure they know that you're in control, not them. You're not just rejecting their request, you're guiding the conversation toward a place where you stay on top. The secret here is to remain gracious and professional while still keeping your boundaries intact. Remember, you're not saying no to their request. You're saying yes to your own priorities. The subtle art of flattery without overdoing it. A little bit of flattery goes a long way, especially in the diplomatic world of office politics. But here's the catch. You don't want to come off as a brown-noser. You need to be subtle, sincere, and strategic. You're not handing out compliments like candy at Halloween. You're giving just enough to show you're tuned in and appreciative of someone's strengths, without looking desperate for their approval. If you've noticed that a colleague has been especially effective in handling a difficult situation, say something like, I've been really impressed with how you handled that meeting. You made such a complex issue sound so simple. I'd love to hear how you approached it. Notice the subtlety there? You're acknowledging their skill, not their personality. You're complimenting their ability to solve problems, not their being. And guess what happens next? They're going to want to spend more time with you. People love to talk about their successes, and when you've made them feel good, they're more likely to trust you and, ultimately, back you up when it matters most. Remember, the best flattery is specific, personal, and genuine, but never over the top. It's like seasoning and cooking. You only need a little to enhance the flavor, but too much, and it's overwhelming. Playing the long game. Patience is power. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make in office diplomacy is expecting results right now. You know what I'm talking about. Those people who barge into a meeting, make a dramatic statement, and expect to be crowned CEO of everything by lunchtime. Spoiler alert, that's not how it works. The real diplomats know that power is built over time. Patience is everything in this game. You've got to play the long game and avoid looking like you're always trying to grab the spotlight. Instead, let others shine. and be the one pulling the strings in the background. Think about it like this. Every time you stay calm during a crisis, share the spotlight, and strategically show your leadership, you're building your reputation. Every time you step back and let others run with a good idea, you're showing you're confident enough to let them have their moment. But don't mistake patience for passivity. It's not about waiting for someone to throw you a bone. It's about strategically making moves when the timing is right, and letting others move toward you rather than rushing after them. You'll have your moment to shine, but first, you need to set the stage for it. And when it's time for you to take the lead, you'll already have the trust and support of everyone around you. Patience pays off. It's the ultimate power play. Use your network like a diplomatic toolbox. As a diplomatic mastermind, you've got a little secret weapon in your back pocket, your network. But here's the thing. You don't just use your network when you need something. A true diplomat builds relationships over time, nurturing them and knowing when to call in favors or offer them. If you've been taking the time to foster genuine relationships, not just transactional ones, you'll have a toolkit of allies when it's time to pull the trigger. But don't be the person who only pops up when you need something. Instead, maintain your connections by offering support, sharing information, and being a sounding board for others. Here's an example. Let's say you're asked to take on a challenging project that requires resources or support from other departments. Instead of scrambling and fighting for resources, you'll already have a network of people who trust you and are willing to help. This is the ultimate diplomatic advantage, having people in your corner who are ready to back you up without you even having to ask. The key here is to build genuine relationships. Don't just make it about what you can get out of someone. The more you support others and add value, the more likely they'll be there when you need them. Stay above the fray. Don't get involved in drama. Office drama is like quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. You've got to be the one who rises above the chaos and stays cool, calm, and collected. Diplomacy means not engaging in petty arguments, office gossip, or drama. You don't have time for that. You've got bigger fish to fry. When the inevitable office drama rears its ugly head, don't get pulled into it. Stay neutral, stay objective, and don't let emotions cloud your judgment. The best diplomats know when to step back and when to get involved. You don't have to be everyone's best friend, but you do need to maintain your integrity and composure at all times. When you stay out of the muck, people will begin to see you as a reliable, steady leader who can handle anything, without getting bogged down by the petty nonsense. Brought to you by Lux von Zollern, the maker of exclusive garments for successful women, available at the website www.lvzprestige.com. Think Lux von Zollern when you wish to amplify your executive impact in high-stakes business environments.